Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hello Word, your daily dose of English vocabulary. I'm your host, Alex, and I'm thrilled to have you join me today as we explore another essential English word. Today's word is cup. So, what exactly is a cup? Well, a cup is a small container for drinking, usually with a handle. Think of it as something you'd use to drink your tea, coffee, or juice. It's a very common object that we use every single day. We use the word cup all the time in everyday language. For example, you might say, I need a cup of coffee to wake up, or she drank a cup of tea before bed. It's a simple word, but incredibly useful. Now, let's explore some synonyms for the word cup. Synonyms are words that have similar meanings. One synonym for cup is mug. A mug is often larger than a cup and typically used for hot drinks. For example, he drank his hot chocolate from a large mug. Another synonym, although less common, is vessel. A vessel is a general term for a container, and a cup can be considered a small vessel for drinking. For example, the antique vessel was carefully cleaned. A third synonym is goblet, which is usually a fancy cup, typically made of glass or metal, used for drinking wine or other special drinks. She raised her goblet in a toast. And finally, you can use chalice, which refers to a ceremonial cup, often used in religious contexts. The priest held the chalice high. These synonyms give you a slightly different flavor to the word cup, depending on the context. Now let's think about antonyms. Antonyms are words that have opposite meanings. This is a bit trickier with a word like cup because it refers to a specific object. However, we can think about words that describe things that are not small containers for drinking. One antonym in a very loose sense could be pitcher, which is a large container for pouring liquids. She poured juice from the pitcher into her cup. Another could be bottle, which is a container, usually made of glass or plastic for storing liquids, but we don't typically drink directly from a bottle like we would from a cup. He emptied the bottle of water into his cup. A third could be bowl, which is a container, usually round, used for holding food or other items. She ate cereal from a bowl, not a cup. A fourth antonym could be jar, which is also a container used to store food. She opened the jar of jam to spread on her bread. Understanding these antonyms helps us see what a cup isn't. Now, let's look at how cup is used in everyday life. You might hear someone say, "Can I offer you a cup of tea?" This is a polite way to offer someone a drink. Or, you might hear, "I need my morning cup of coffee." This expresses a need for caffeine. Another common expression is a cup of joe, which is a slang term for a cup of coffee. For example, he needed a cup of joe to start his day. Sometimes we use cup metaphorically, like in the phrase, "That's not my cup of tea." This means that something is not to your liking or interest. For example, going to the opera is not my cup of tea. You might also hear about a measuring cup in cooking. This is a cup used to measure ingredients. For instance, add 1 cup of flour to the mixture. Here are some more example sentences and phrases using the word cup. She bought a new cup with a floral design. He accidentally broke his favorite cup this morning. The cup was filled to the brim with hot chocolate. I prefer drinking my coffee from a ceramic cup. She held the cup carefully, so she wouldn't spill the tea. I washed the cup and put it back in the cupboard. This cup keeps my tea warm for hours. He knocked over the cup, spilling the coffee on the table. The cup was a gift from her grandmother. She rinsed the cup after using it. He filled the cup with water from the tap. The cup was decorated with colorful patterns. She warmed her hands on the cup of hot tea. He placed the cup on the saucer. The cup was made of delicate porcelain. She emptied the cup into the sink. He drank the last drop from the cup. The cup sat empty on the table. She replaced the cup on the shelf. He examined the cup for any cracks. The cup felt warm in her hands. She enjoyed her cup of tea in the garden. He carefully poured the liquid into the cup. The cup was a souvenir from her trip. She cherished the cup and its memories. He used the cup every morning. She set the cup down gently. He lifted the cup to his lips. She watched as the steam rose from the cup. He savored the taste of the drink in the cup. She refilled the cup with more liquid. He reached for the cup on the counter. She admired the design on the cup. He noticed a stain on the cup. She tried to clean the stain off the cup. He decided to buy a new set of cups. She organized the cups in the cabinet. He smiled as he sipped from his cup. She appreciated the simplicity of the cup. He needed a cup of water after exercising. She kept her cup on her desk at work. He brought a cup of soup to his sick friend. She offered him a cup of juice. He accepted the cup gratefully. She thanked him for the cup of coffee. We have covered a lot about the word cup today. We defined it, explored its synonyms and antonyms, and looked at how it's used in everyday conversation. I hope you found this episode helpful in expanding your English vocabulary. Thank you for joining me on Hello Word today. I really appreciate you tuning in. Now, for our call to action. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your support helps others find the show, and I really appreciate it. As a final challenge, I'd love to see you use the word cup in a sentence of your own. Share your sentence as a comment under the video, and I'll be sure to check them out. Happy learning, and I'll see you next time on Hello Word.